Hey Mama, I want to talk to you for a minute really quickly about role models. Role models are something that I believe in and have by integrating having role models and mentors in my life and also integrating this into the programs that I create for women thought leaders. It becomes a game changer and an instant way of really tuning into expanding your success in your life. So when you're not given great role models, if you're anything like me, I didn't have great role models around me, not in the acting industry that I was in, not around in my family. And I remember hearing this idea that the 5 people in our inner circle that we spend the most time with really dictate the highest level of success that we have. So look at your inner circle. You know, who are the 5 people that you spend the most time with on a day-to-day basis? And the most successful one from that group, that's about your ceiling. That's your upper limit for how much success you're going to be able to call into your life. And when I looked around, I realized I was collecting a bunch of friends and people who needed my support and who I was an inspiration to, but I actually didn't have anyone that I trusted to hold me in my greatest challenge or who I felt was at the level of success that I really wanted to see for myself. So I made a change. I started looking around for who are the people that are living the kind of lifestyle I want to live, who have gotten the results that I want to get, who are really feeling the way that I want to be feeling in my life. And then I made an effort to spend the majority of my time with that person, whether it be in an investment, coaching relationship, or building friendships and close relationships with people like that. So when I realized how effective this is, and I'll tell you why it's effective, is because when you spend time with people in person, or you are actually around them, talking to them, really getting to know not just their surface level conversations. You and I have had a lot of chats together through video and over the phone. But when we get intimate, that's when we really get to know each other. That's when you hear about my struggles and how I overcame them, and you get an idea of how I actually made things possible in my life. And when you learn that from someone, you not only realize everyone's human, so the people that have the most success, there's nothing different about them than you. They just figured something out, and you will be able to figure that out without having to go through the challenge. The key here is picking someone, really knowing who your mentor and your role model, looking at their lifestyle and who they've become and how they live and who they are. Does it really resonate with you? Do you see some of the qualities in them that you desire to expand, cultivate, or see within yourself? So when you have that, then you can begin to take on that energy of that person. You'll be pulled up to that level of intention, to that level of clarity, and to the resources they used and that you need to get to that space. So role models are one of the easiest ways to go from totally confused and stuck in knowing how to move toward what you want and finding the resources, the motivation, the power within you, and the clarity of the how to get there. So I'm excited to talk to you about that today, and I know that some of the women inside Mentor Masterclass have become incredible role models as well because they've actually taken the leap to invest in their life coach training and are now walking their talk, becoming expert level coaches, learning how to prospect and market. I want you to feel some of their energy and rub up against them, because the other thing that I really believe in is that there's no one right way to do things. There is not one path to success, and it really is one of my pet peeves in programs out there, whether it's life coach training or business development, where they say, this is the way, this is how you'll be successful. And the reason I don't like it is because we're unique. I have unique talents and strengths, and I also have weaknesses. For example, I'm not great at grammar, and I'm really impatient when it comes to emails. I'm much better in person and articulating and sharing vocally, which is why I add a lot of intimate connection in my programs. So creating a written course or creating a program that doesn't involve personal connection, it's not going to really help me grow my business because it's not tuning into my unique strengths. So what I love about expanding that vision is I think it's important to look at a vast variety of women, if you're a woman, who have had success, and for you to hear from each and every one of them how they did it so that you can see all the different examples, see which mentors you resonate the most with so that you can find the mentor that you want to spend more time with and really model and work with deeper, and so that you can find your unique business model. When you hear all the different ways people went about it, when you hear about their strengths, their weaknesses, you're going to tune in. You're going to discover that's mine. All right, this is the person that I could really take from their way of doing it. I can learn from their mistakes. I can take from their resource list and really begin to implement a niche and a business model that works for me. Because if you're getting into business and you're becoming an entrepreneur and you're wanting to start your coach business, you don't want to do it at the expense of your lifestyle. You're doing this because you want more freedom, you want more financial abundance, and you want more peace and ease in your life and flow. And you want to feel your power, not like you are doing a bunch of things that you feel you should do, not the things that you really want to do to get to the success that you desire. That's why in Mentor Masterclass, I have the 12 celebrity mentors. If you pay up in front and full for the course, you get all 24 of the mentors, and you get to see all the business models that exist, all the ways that women have different strengths and weaknesses, and what they did to work around those and create a business that they love and a business model that works effectively for them and a lifestyle where they feel complete. So without further ado, listen to some of these amazing role models inside of Mentor Masterclass and what they have to say.
Okay, so the final thing that I want to cover with you ladies is who you're becoming. Who are you becoming inside of Mentor Masterclass? And if you've graduated, who were you when you started? If you can remember that first day of class, those first few months, or making that decision to join, who were you then and who are you now? So specifically, if you're comfortable sharing, what are some of the biggest personal transformations that you see yourself going through as you take the course? Or, you know, who were you back then and who are you now for those of you who have graduated? And how do you see that is making you a better coach or a business owner? Yeah.
I was in a very masculine mode. My background is nursing. I worked as a full-time wage earner for our family. My husband stayed home with our children. And so my way of being was to push through at all costs and not to really pay attention. If I was tired, who cares? You just have a shift to do, you go do it. And so I had started thinking with my own coach before I started this program, what does it look like to be rather than just do? And so I would say my biggest learning has been, what is this feminine energy thing anyway? How do I not have my whole life fall apart? Because I was thinking, well, if I'm in the feminine flow, I don't plan anything. And I'm learning that there's a beautiful dance between the two. So I am now a woman who can pay attention to my energy. I can actually take a rest if I need it. I can say no if I don't have the energy. I can ask for help and receive. And I can also make plans. I can follow through on commitments. I can work hard, and it gets done. So I would say for me, it's that effortlessness, that flow that has happened for me that I'm really enjoying.
Beautiful, Marjorie. Thank you. That is a question we all have when we hear feminine power, feminine business model. What does that really mean? And that's been a huge part of my journey that I share pretty rawly and openly in our sister circles and in our live calls and Mentor Masterclass and our email exchanges. I try to also always share what's coming up for me and how am I continuing to use these tools and things that you're going through. And that's always one, is balancing the creating structures and systems and, you know, all controlling my emotions in a way where I can be in an empowered state of mind when I'm going through a hard time, but also allowing myself to be messy, to experience my full range, and to surrender and receive support first before just forcing myself to power through or create results so that I can grow while I'm enjoying my life and loving my life and taking really good care of myself while also creating really, really abundant success at the same time. Ladies, anything else to add as far as transformations for you specifically, like who you were, who you are now, or what you're experiencing as you're changing in the course?
I was going to take a moment because I don't want to like talk forever, because I feel like this is the thing that if there was one thing I could talk forever about, it would be this, because I feel like I just can't even explain the amount of transformation that's like happened within myself and within my life, like throughout this program. Just when I started, I felt on the brink of what I wanted in my life. You know, I had gone to massage school. I was trying to start my own business. I actually joined like a different coaching program, and I was really figuring out where I wanted to be, but just kind of on that ledge. And I feel, you know, and maybe this isn't the best analogy, but it's like your program like pushed me off that ledge, and then but I'm like, then I could fly, you know, like it's, you know, just that extra step further and that push I needed to really show up fully in my life and have the confidence to do that. You know, if there's one thing I could think that really transformed is just really taking, you know, control in my life and, you know, owning that power to create the life you want. You know, it's, you know, I think it wasn't until I was further in the program that I saw you know, was going to call your coaching program Invite to Your Life. But to me, that's become so true. Like your program is like an invitation to really step into your own life, to own it, to grow, and to really take charge, to make it what you want it to be. And that goes from everything to just your mindset, learning how to like think differently and act differently every day, how to love deeper, how to dig deeper, to, you know, really getting out there and taking action with your business and what you want to be, and not being scared to just go for it. You know, with prospecting, it's like from day one, you're encouraging us to just go out there and be ourselves and talk and figure it out and move from there and continue to grow. And I think that push is just so, it's been so huge. And it's really also through the program made me, you know, become more authentically myself. Just, you know, I think when I first started the program, I thought, well, I want to be this massage therapist and this coach, and I was trying to become this certain thing that I had in my head. And your program really like tore off that layer, like that Band-Aid, and just made me actually figure out who I was and show up that way to be a coach and that way in my business. And that's where I think the really magic is gonna, you know, happen. And that's just made me feel, you know, the transformation to be huge and lifelong. And it's changed everything in my life, honestly. And that's where I don't want to go on, but it's like my relationship's better. You know, like my bank account's better. My overall happiness is better. Like, you know, me making huge decisions feels great, you know, because I have just gained so much confidence and strength and, you know, choice in this program. So
Courtney, I have seen that in you so powerfully. I just have to acknowledge that specifically, you know, in the beginning, you might have like tried to follow the way that it should be, and I'd even see you getting down on yourself for maybe not taking an action step the way that I wrote it to be, or not feeling aligned with something a mentor suggested, and then like what transformed in you is, like you said, you so beautifully just started trusting your own inner guidance and seeing it as a strength, in that you can go your own way, and actually you are have a strong inner guide that your way is perfect for you. And as you have trusted that and done that throughout the program, it's become one of your greatest strengths. And I think oftentimes I turn to you to help other women learn that for themselves. So I see what you're talking about, and it really has become something that you just don't fuck around with anymore. It's like you know what is right for you. You hold yourself accountable to that, and you don't judge yourself or question whether you should do it a different way. You do it the way that you know you must do it to be happy, and it's been really cool to watch you do that.
Awesome, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anything else to add, ladies, about that?
I really like, Courtney, what you said about becoming you. I would echo that as well. Just figuring out and becoming who we are is the biggest benefit, I think, of this program. Mm-hmm. And it's not what we sign up for, really. We just sign up for it to become a better coach, right? Mm-hmm. And to be in sisterhood. So what I learned, my biggest transformation was, what's my power? What's my real power? As a woman, as Michelle, as a coach. I came in with an established business already, and that transformed. Like you said, it's magical now. And I learned what I was already teaching and how to make that more powerful and how to make it more impactful and more me. So that, I mean, so huge. So huge.
Beautiful, Michelle. Thank you. Any last words on that, Jackie?
Yeah, I was trying to think as I'm listening to each of these women's stories of who they are now. It's really kind of magical to see how similar and also how different our paths are on this, but mostly it's coming back to us. And I feel like right before I came to you, my journey was really, what's my purpose? Who am I? And I knew that there was something here. I just went through it by my gut guidance, I guess. And I remember right before when I was teaching, a lot of the things I would do is a lot of mindset work and a lot of things to help my students feel more positive, because they were international students and they were away from their families, and it was a really tough experience for them as a teacher. And I felt like I came in thinking, like, I'm going to go in, I'm going to be this positive counselor of sorts and help people to feel positive and great and wonderful, which is part of what I do. But I've learned to embrace the messiness. I've learned to embrace the things that are really crappy and to be okay with them. And that's where the beauty is going to take place. The place where the shit happens is where we're going to reemerge as a better part of ourselves. And it's because I've gone through it and I'm okay with continuing to go through it. And I feel like I can do that also with my clients, and a lot of them are so embarrassed for crying, and I'm like, I see you, I got you, I know what you're going through, I understand it. And there's such a beauty in watching someone transform that way, especially because I know what it's like to go through it, and I know a lot of the women in Mentor Masterclass have also gone through that, and to reemerge as, or not even as, just closer to who they are.
What I'm hearing, Jackie, is you addressing, something that I witness a lot in sisterhood and throughout doing our own personal work, is that you've become a better coach because you know how to hold yourself through the mess, and you know how to honor another woman in her mess without making that wrong or without needing to be any other way. But you can still feel yourself and okay in your life when there's a challenge or when you're going through something hard or messy. And therefore, you're a better coach for that because you know how to stand your ground and how to hold this space for a client to go through that. And I mean, we're not coaches if we're not helping people through their mess, because ultimately people are coming to us in their messiest states and they're wanting to get out of it. And I don't know, I think we all think in life that there'll be that at some point we'll just always have it all together and things will be good. And that is just never going to be true. There will always be a new challenge that shows up. We're going to have high highs and low lows. And I can see how you're saying that this has made you a better coach for it.
Yeah, and I definitely feel that. And it's also brought me to my place, not of my zone of excellence, which is great, but really my zone of genius, which is this place where I'm going to continue to spiral upward, but it's not a straight upshoot. It's really this beautiful place, this path that I can continue to merge upwards, and sometimes down, but then go back up again, expand. And but that's essentially what life is accepting that path and knowing that when you are in your zone of genius, you are closer to who you are, to your soul, to you. And to who you are as a human. And it's really such a beautiful process to witness yourself, to see yourself go through it and come out of it because you can, and then also to see your sisters go through that because they can, and to hold them to that, and then to see your own clients go through that because they totally can. And when we go through it, we're creating that change to allow people to be who they are. And it's really because of this course that I've been able do that and to feel that. Sure.
Thank you, ladies. Your feedback and support answering these questions, I know, is helping our sister who has joined us in this circle, and you, I hope, are getting to feel what it's like to be in an intimate circle like this, and we are here to support you in this question that you have about what's next for you. Is this course right for you? I want you to know that with your whole heart. I want you to come in feeling like you're ready for this and this is exactly where you're meant to be, and certain about the choice that you're making. I don't know how certain we can always be. Oftentimes the certainty comes on the other side. Fear can really be a big corporate, a thing that happens in these moments of decision. So I'm just hoping that by showing up in this circle, some of this feedback has been helpful for you. So just before we close, sisters, is there anything else that you feel like she would need to know, or that you want her to know about the program before we sign off on this beautiful evening? It's getting dark so much earlier. I'm noticing like it was light, and now it's like the sun is setting as we speak. Anything that you would add that you want to tell her before we close? And then we've covered a lot, so there might not be anything.
I want to say that trust your intuition, trust your wise woman, and trust Janine and the program that she has created. That you don't even know what you don't know, and trust that this abundance will show up.
Thanks, Marjorie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I want to add that the collaboration piece, we learned so much about why collaboration is powerful, both from the mentors and with the sisters, like Jacqueline and I are collaborating. It just continues. Mm-hmm. And if you're thinking about not joining this program because you think you can do it on your own, you're wrong. So I really highly recommend that you join this program if you're even feeling it, like Marjorie said, because the collaboration alone, what you're going to learn through that is going to repay itself.
Mm-hmm. So I'm so lucky I get to collaborate with all of you. I put out a post recently a lot of the times I try to stay within the program, the women that I work with, when an opportunity comes up and we do a big challenge every year, and I just felt in for who would like to collaborate and bring, offer some gifts. And the ideas and the things that have been contributed from you guys are so freaking amazing. So I feel grateful for the collaboration that I get to know so many of you, and that I have such a vast resource of women that I can refer to. Speaking of which, if you've resonated with one of these women and desire to get in touch with them, please reach out to me and I will tell you how you can. Ladies, is there anything else that you would like to add, Courtney or Jackie, before we close? Great.
I'm just going to continue also. The hardest thing, especially for women, is to listen to their gut, because we're told things that we should do. But your heart, as Marjorie said, your intuition is so amazing. And honestly, what is the worst that's going to happen? What is the worst that's going to happen?
We will take you to a mountain and convert you into our cult world.
But yeah, maybe that.
Probably will. We probably will have a circle at a mountain at some point.
I'm right there with you. Ask yourself that. What is the worst that's going to happen? Because just listen to your intuition. I just ask you, really listen to your intuition and go by that. Mm-hmm. And take the leap. Because you have no idea what's going to be right before you if you don't take that leap.
Mm. Well, like Courtney said, and then when you get into the program, I'll push you off.
Jump off the edge.
But I'll give you wings first. Yeah. You'll find your own wings.
We'll have everything we need. You will have it all.
Thank you so much, ladies, for being here to share your heart and your experience with the sister that is here with us too. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video and be courageous enough to ask the questions that you have and get the answers for them. That's what I'm here for. And with that, thank you, everyone. It was so beautiful to have this little circle with you, and I feel so humbled to get your feedback. And I really believe in this program, and it's so good to hear that all the pieces that I've put together in it are alive and real and resonating and happening for you. So thank you, ladies. Thank you, sister, for joining us, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.
Do you want to become a confident and masterful life coach? Imagine feeling completely supported by a brilliant sisterhood while you launch your dream business and attain financial freedom. Mentor Masterclass is an all-in life coach training program for 40 women who are on a mission to learn from the best. You can join Mentor Masterclass at the beginning of any new month while spaces are available. Head on over to mentormasterclass.com to learn more about the training and apply now.